Good afternoon here in New Jersey. If you're finding me for the first time, my name is Penny. I come here a few days a week. My goal is to inspire you. I hope you can listen and learn by the time you're done listening to me. And I hope after you're done learning, you can apply those things in your life so you can live a life with purpose. So you always have to clear your vision. Make sure you know where you're going. Be very intentional about that. For you to know where you're going, you need to make the place clear. So if you have not liked my page, do that. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, to do that. And I'll truly appreciate and share this video. So this month we are doing this book. And this book is written by a doctor called Perpetua. And the book is talking about what matters. And what matters is kind of more of helping us create self-awareness so we can make better choices for ourselves. And I'm learning from the book. So that's why I bring the book here so we can learn together. So I hope by the time you're done, you'd have learned something with me. So now, yesterday, if you didn't watch my video yesterday, go back. Yesterday we spoke about discovering what matters in your home. And we talked about setting goals, being intentional about the goals you're going to set for the rest of the week. And then we talked about making your home a good environment where you're able to think and grow, and by improving the lighting, the plants, whatever you have in your house, the scent, the sound, and giving your house life, because that's where you sit at the end of the day. And we said that you needed to clutter to create space for the future. Declutter your house, create that space. So today, we are talking about emotionally detoxing you and detoxing your house. Okay? Now we are talking about their house. You need to detox your house and you need to detox you emotionally. And before I continue, what they are about to talk about here, I can show you a clear example of what it means to hold on to things. So if you're from Kenya, I'm sure when you were growing up, you saw these files. We call them files. In America, they call them binders. This binder, this is a very old binder. I don't know the year that my dad bought it, but he used to change them every year. This binder holds my whole life since I was born until the day I got married. And how they used to do it, they would, if you want to remove a paper, you take this here. I know most of you never even saw this. You put these pins here, it like that, it like that. That's if you want to remove a paper, like when you went to my dad and he needed to get a paper from your binder. This is how, this binder worked, or this folder worked. And the day my husband went home to ask my family to marry me, he was given this binder on a ceremony. It was an event, and they gave it to him. And in this binder, there are things like my whole life, my school papers. I even have the art that I did. We used to draw in Kisi Primary in Nyandoche. There's an art I did here. I believe this was 1982. Yeah, this was 1982. This is my art. So my father was a keeper. You see, that's a bird, if you can see. And, he decided to keep this for me. This is the kind of father that I had. My whole life is in this binder. So, just to give you guys a little history, I went to my local village school where we speak Ekegisi from nursery to class 3. When I went into class 4, I was removed from my mom at 9 years old. I was 9 years old when my dad removed me from my mother. That's the last time I spent with my mother. Even this is art. You can see it. This is art from class 4. And I went to live with my father and my stepmother. And if you look at this binder, if you look at this file, you're going to see the progress of where I went from going to school where they spoke just Ekegisi to a school that they were speaking English. So if you look at my few papers, the first initial papers, I'm getting nothing. I think, where is one that like nothing? When I tell you nothing, because I couldn't really read English and comprehend anything. This one I have 60%, that's a miracle. I have 56%, that's a miracle. I have 20%, right? Out of 100, I only got one right? 10 questions. So here I'm struggling to learn English. It's like you're being given a test in a language you've never seen. Here I got 50%. This is a science test. This is math. I got 30%. Like, this is my history. So my father was a keeper. I'm a keeper. So I have a whole history here. And then in 1985, 2 years later, after I was removed from my mom, I was removed from my dad and I was taken to boarding school. If you see here, I have receipts from the school that I went to, boarding school. These are the receipts for my tuition. I have my admission letter. My father has been dead 16 years now. I have the admission letter, and the letter says, I'm pleased to inform you that your daughter has been admitted to standard 5 and her application and the school fees. If you went to Eronge Primary Boarding School, this is 1985. The school fees first term was 1,300 shillings. Second term was 500 shillings. Third term was 200 shillings. For if you're in Kenya, you understand those numbers. So that's how much I was paying. And in this letter, the parent is supposed to sign, and the student has signed at the bottom. And here is all my school receipts, everything. And then, to move forward, I stayed in Eronge Primary School, and then I passed my 8th grade, and I made it to high school, to a school called Sironga Girls High School. I have the letter that told me that I had been selected to Sironga Girls High. Where is that letter? This is half term. I have my letters for half term. Let me see. This is Sironga. Yeah, Sironga Girls. Eronge. Okay, here is the letter. Okay. It says, hey, what are you saying? To be cautious when looking online on natural alternatives to book blood pressure. I don't know who's writing that. The letter says, Penina Ongwenyi, index number, the school. Congratulations for passing your 1987 KCPE. I'm glad to inform you that you have been selected to join Sironga Girls High School. You are expected to report on school on January this day, and they have given us a list. And it just makes me so happy. The first letter I wrote to my father as soon as I got into that school. Dear loving dad, I told him about the school, how you doing, how is the family, and yours loving daughter Penina Ongwenyi. Please, I was asking for money, okay? Don't have much to say, but God bless you, okay? I told him the reason why I was writing this letter to him, if it's possible, he can send me 20 shillings for clubs and transport. This is amazing. So anyway, fast forward, I finished Form 4 high school. I left Kenya, and as soon as I arrived in America, okay, I arrived in America. The letters I wrote to him, I'm in America. Christmas cards I sent him. All the cards, all the letters I wrote to my father are here. You are a wonderful father. You know, look at this card. This is amazing. Look at that card. I sent my father that card, and the card said, you're an amazing father. This was what year, with a letter inside. Okay? And I told him, what year was this? This was 1993. And you know, I didn't put, no, I put the year. I put the year. I wrote this letter on October 10th, 1993. He used to write the dates that he received. He received this letter on October 18th of 1993. Okay? Very nice. And I love this. For some reason, I'm one of his children that really love this. Okay? Every Thanksgiving before my father died, I sent him a Thanksgiving card every year, faithfully. And I told him Thanksgiving is a time that we are grateful for our families. And you know, let me read this one. This was in 1995. Loving Dad, the leaves have turned to red and gold. Thanksgiving time is here. And Father, you've always made it such a special time of the year because you're fine. Example, your love and your caring too. Make your family grateful to have a father like you. Happy Thanksgiving. And guess what? This card was for an American, but it had the words, you understand, that I wanted to write to him, although he was not in America. And then I sent him little cards like that. That card is written, I sent this in the year 2000. I hope Dad, he had written me a letter and asked me all kinds of questions. Dad, I hope you're well, and I miss you, and I hope you're eating well and doing exercise. I was never okay with his weight. Okay, another year Thanksgiving. We are going to close this binder so we can go to what we're supposed to do, but I needed to show you guys that. And then when I left, actually there's one other thing here. I took after my father. I kept my student ID from Sronga Girls High School. Okay, the reason why I kept this ID, I just removed the picture, I have it somewhere. I felt so much accomplished that I made it to that school. Yeah, and when I look at it, I feel good. This is my school ID, I mean my ID. The day I turned 18, they call it the Kenyan National ID. This day is the day I found freedom and I left my parents' house. So I have this. So that's done. That is stuff that is in my house. Okay. And that's my national ID. Okay, now there's a binder here. After I left my parents' home, remember this binder, I didn't get it until my husband came to marry me. They gave this binder to my husband. When I left, when I turned 18, I created my own binder. And in this binder, I have everything here. This binder has even receipts from everything that I'm always a keeper. I have receipts from Nairobi. All receipts. There's a time before I came to America, I was trying to go to dressmaking school. I have the receipts. And this school was called, what was the name? What is the name of it? Amedo's Sewing Product. It was a school. Okay? And I went and registered and I needed to learn how to make dresses. I paid. The admission fees was 100 shillings and I bought the things that I needed. And I also have the receipts that I took the bus from Kisii to come to Nairobi. I still have that. I don't know why, but I have it. So this is my binder and I have the receipts of everything. I have letters when I came to take a home health aid class. And the letter, they told me that you're welcome and this is the school you're going to take. And then I have all my cards here. Anyway, in short, this is in my house. I'm keeping these. I don't even know for what. I have receipts from everything that I used to buy and I kept it. And then finally, this is a list of my father's children. There's a time my father made this copy and gave all his children this paper. And this paper has all of us names, 21. And he has written everybody's birthday. And everybody has a first name and a last name. These two brothers of mine, I don't know why, and I wish I asked my dad this question then. I have two brothers. My number one brother has 3 names. George Stevenson Owegi Ongwenyi. I don't know why he had 2 names. Then there is my late brother. My number 1 brother is gone. My number 2 brother, John Wycliffe Mokaya Ongwenyi. Those 2 brothers had 4 names. All the rest of us, we had 3 names. So let me tell you, you know, I always say I have siblings, 21 siblings. Here is a list. So listen, before I go to the book, listen to my siblings' names. Number 1, George. Number 2, Robinson. Number 3, Mary. Number 4, John. Number 5, Jemima. Number 6, Thomas. Number 7, Gilbert. Number 8, Joyce. Number 9, Grace. Number 10, Alice. Number 11, Geoffrey. Number 12, Simon. Number 13, Margaret. Number 14, John. Number 15, Nixon. Number 16, Veronica. Number 17, Lillian. Number 18, Penina. Number 19, Hilda. Number 20, Cecilia. Number 21, Zipporah. These are 21 children. So number 1 is late. Number 2 is late. Number 4 is late. Number 10 is late. And number 15 is late. Okay. You see that? That's history. That is emotional. I create a day to just go through these things to reflect. That is the kind of baggage that I have within me. That is the baggage that most of us have in our homes. Emotional and physical. This is physical. This is physical. I have letters from my brothers, my late brothers who passed away. I have all my letters in here. This is physical. Everything that you can see. And then there are things you can't see. Okay? So that's where we are going today. Let me see. Okay. So we are talking about making your home a good environment for you and a good environment for your emotions. So that way, you know, you feel. Because when I look at this, when I sit to look at this, I get emotional. Do I need to trash this? No, I don't want to. Are my kids going to trash it? Probably yes. I have 4 children. Maybe one child is going to be interested to carry on these things, although I plan to put them in like a book and save it so my grandkids can see it, to turn it into a digital kind of a thing, because it shows you how I went from getting 1% to show, you know, to a place where I passed to go to a national school. You know, at the time, going to Stronger Girls was like the biggest thing. I felt so accomplished. I tell you this to tell you, there's a time in your life where, which was yesterday, you are feeling some kind of way. But today is a new day for you. But here is already half day. Half of my day is gone. So today is a new day. So that's why they're telling you, clean yourself, declutter. What do you want to keep on keeping on? What do you want to hold on? Okay? So for me, at 9 years old, I was removed from my mom. So really, I don't have that motherly love, or, you know, where my mom is looking out for me. I'm desensitized quick. At 9, I don't feel, some things I don't feel. I'm more of like, what can we do? Because I was too young. At 12, I'm removed from my parents. I'm sent to boarding school. Again, desensitized, where you're living in school with parents and without your parents. The teachers don't care. If you did something, they just spank you. Okay, so I have to detox that. So they are telling you, now that you've cluttered your house, okay, you need to create space. So that way, you see what's weighing you down. Okay, some of the things that are in your environment can be the reason that you're where you are. This is because people attach sentiments to objects, even if you are not aware that this binder is causing me something. There's a time of your life where you had an emotional attachment to something. When it doesn't have the same emotional attachment, you should let it go. Without knowing, you find yourself being weighed down by the things that are in your house and by the emotions that you're carrying. Now I just put myself into that emotional thought of where I was removed at 9 years old. I was removed from my parents at 12 years old. Like, I'm thinking, like, really, who does that? At that time, they thought they were doing something good for me. So I have to declutter my mind. I have to declutter the house. See what you're consuming, okay? There are things that if you are in your area, in your space, they are going to make you feel a certain way because of what relationship you have with them. Okay? You need to reflect all on the objects. Like now I say I have this cup. I bought this cup because I like yellow. So if I start looking at this cup, I can even remember the day I bought it. It has happy faces. You know, it's yellow and black. I like it. So I have some kind of emotional attachment to this cup. This morning I shared my plates that I used to eat. My plates are beautiful. I love them. Okay? Now, the next one, and this is what they are going to tell you. There are things that bring you shame. The papers here, you know, my father gave this to my husband. Not just my husband. My father gave away all the girls, all the binders to their husbands. My father gave the new wives to my brothers the binders. So you're coming to marry an Ongwenyi's son. The day you are brought into that home and they've accepted that you're going to marry his son, you're going to get this binder. This binder has papers that I have 2%, 3%. These binders have the bad English. These binders have my whole life. And my father felt the need to take this whole binder and give it to my husband. And you know, he left me here to go do this. So you can imagine, in flight coming, not even in flight, from Kisii to Mwinzao is like 12 hours. He went through the binder. Then from Mwinzao, maybe through, you know, the airline, because I told him, don't check in that binder in case the suitcase gets lost. That has to be on the carry-on. So if my husband had this carry-on, on this in his carry-on, and it's a long flight, you know, those days they didn't have phones and they didn't have Wi-Fi. It's very possible that my husband went through this whole binder and said, my God, this girl, you know him, he's a born city, he's born in different environments. So what does that do to most of us when people get to come into your space and know who you are? What does it do? It brings shame. So I can choose, you know, once he reads this binder, how I'm going to feel, the discoveries he's going to make. I'm going to decide, am I going to feel shame or what am I going to do? You feel shame. Shame is what gets in the way, you know, of joy. And sometimes some things are not physical, some things are emotional. When you're feeling shame, you stop enjoying your day to day because you're thinking, oh, you know what? Hey, now people know. You know, that's why social media, people are ashamed and people abuse people. That's why I'm not too okay with people shaming people on social media. Unless, for me, if you abuse me, then I'll abuse you back. But I won't be the one to start. So this shame gets in the way and it weighs you down. In your house, there are things that you are holding on to that bring you shame. In your mind, there are things that you hold on to that bring you shame. You have to remove these things from your brain. You have to remove these things from your house. And then what they are saying, some items can make you not want to do anything. Even after you look at them, you're like, I'm tired. Okay? Now, some of the things that you could have in your house that can make you feel ashamed is an exercising machine, a treadmill, a dieting things that you bought so you can get your diet, you're not using it. Clothing that you brought to wear to the gym and you're not using them. You can have clothes that you bought for an occasion but nobody's inviting you. So you look at the clothes, you're like, oh, babe, nobody's inviting me. So some clothes you have, you're feeling like ashamed. And then there's skincare. You say, you know, moving forward, you see me doing a face thing and I tell you what I'm using, and then you go online, you purchase the skincare. When you bring it to your house, it just collects dust. You can look at those things in your house and just feel ashamed. If you've had products for a year that you bought to cleanse your skin, you're not cleansing your skin, declutter and throw them. And some of it is books. You buy books, you want to read a book, and you're just sitting there. Just drop it. Drop it in the bin. Don't even try to read it because you're looking at it. You're like, oh my God, I should have been reading this book. Some of you, it's the art. You bought art like 2 years ago. I have art that is 5 years ago and is still rolled. That is terrible. And you've never found someone to hang the art for you. So you might as well just get rid of it. You have unfinished hobbies where you started something, you started making beads, and then eventually you're like, I don't want to do beads. So now you have the whole kit of beads. You're like, I'm just tired. By looking at those beads, you're going to be like, you're just feeling cluttered. So that's what they're telling you. Declutter those things, because those things are going to give you bad memories. After shame, what you're going to have is what she calls stuckness. You're stuck. When you're stuck with objects and you're stuck in the way you're thinking emotionally, whenever you face a challenge, those things, you go back to your original thoughts. You're always stuck in the past, or you're always stuck in things that bring you pain. These things, you've saved them for the future, a future that might never come. The clothes are still in your bag, and an event might never come. The art hasn't been hanged. You might never like it anymore because you've changed, you matured, so you might as well just dispose it. There are items you don't want in your house. They don't have meaning, or clothes you bought and you've outgrown them. You can just give them to other people. You bought a suitcase and you wanted to travel. You wanted to go somewhere. Maina, how are you? And you've not traveled. So you might as well just drop those suitcases to someone who's going to use them. And they've asked you, I forgot to tell you guys to have your pen and paper. They've asked you to write the things in your home that you feel that bring you shame. And then you're going to say, write the things in your house that bring you what we call stuckedness. You're stuck. See me?
Sorry.
Why are you coming in my space?
Oh, I just wanted to see you.
Do you want to come and talk?
You were supposed to just keep going.
You cannot come meandering around.
Sorry.
No, come talk. Here, talk, because now you brought yourself.
No, I was just saying hello. Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry. I messed her up. I threw her off. So.
Okay. Goodbye. So, do that exercise. The exercise is to write the things that you're ashamed about. The exercise is to write the things that make you feel stuck in a certain area. And it could be clothes, okay? And then she's telling you, why does this matter? This matters because these things, when you see them, they remind you of shame. They remind you of being stuck in the same place. This toxic feeling, or these things that you look and you feel emotionally weighed down, can harm your future where you want to go. The exercise that you've been asked to do, to write the things that cause you shame, or to write things that make you feel stuck, are going to help you know where you want to go, and are going to help you to put the past behind. Okay? And then she's telling you, here is what really matters. What really matters is connecting with what matters. Okay? And then she's asking you, have you felt, after you've written the things that you need to, that bring you shame, how do you feel after you've written the things that make you feel you're stuck in the same place? It could be curtains. Like, I've had my curtains here for 20 years since I bought the house, and I don't see the need to change them. But maybe if I change these curtains, I might improve my mood. Allah, nobody told me my hair is standing up straight. I didn't even look at my hair. I might change the mood. Maybe it's chairs. Maybe it's something, things that you have that, just make you feel emotionally not okay or stuck. Okay? And then she's telling you, this one you need to write it down. Take action. Why are you going to take action? With the things that bring shame, what can I enjoy in their place? Those things that bring you shame, what do you think you can replace with to bring you joy? Number 2, how could you realign your goals with actions or objects you enjoy? Do you have goals? Number 3, how can you better use the objects you want to keep? I'm keeping these objects, and I've told you already, I want to turn them into digital so that way my grandkids can see them. Okay? What's your plan to unpack the boxes and suitcases if you have boxes and suitcases in your house? What's inside? What plan do you have with them? Number 5, for all the stuff you no longer want, create a plan to either discard or find a better home for them. By just, that's why we go to Goodwill and we buy things, and those things are very good. And then, number 6, as you watch your space, clear and experience the negative emotions, release it the way you released your clutter. Reflect on how good that feels. Okay? Use that feeling to motivate you to succeed. So I hope I've inspired you. I hope you listened. I hope you learned one or two things from this video and the time that you've taken to be here, that you're going to go to your house or wherever you are and apply it so you can live a life with purpose. By the way, I tell our children all the time, we are all human beings. We go through the same challenges. You cannot be stuck emotionally in one place for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years, for 30 years. This kind of mind from my father has a lot of questions. If my father was here, I could have asked him. But I cannot be stuck here because dad has been gone for 16 years. Something somebody did to you long time ago, you're stuck there. You're not creating, you're not decluttering your mind so you can create space for new growth. We stay in one place, things that happened yesterday. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not promised. So try to make it better because you might not go. Pray for me. My elbow is still hurt. And I truly appreciate for those of you who've been very supportive. I don't take your support for granted. And as you take your time to browse on social media, please use your time wisely. We all get the same time, but at the end of the day, sit and reflect how you spent your time. It is so, so important that you reflect on how you're managing your time. Thank you. And invite your friends to go to YouTube, because this video, I'm going to take you to YouTube, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you and God bless you.